Oh, well, while with, I worked with Dr. Steve Isaacs and Dr. Nathan Kaner, who I currently work with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he was telling me when I went to school that there's this technique in chiropractic called chiropractic biophysics, and
Mm-hmm.
that they've been putting out all this research showing that on top of the traditional chiropractic adjustment that you would get in any chiropractic office that you go to, he said they've been adding in specific types of traction to stretch the ligaments of the spine and exercises to strengthen their body. And they're showing that they're
Mm-hmm.
getting phenomenal long-term outcomes.
So that's
So
what you
when
call
I,
chiropractic biophysics.
yes,
And
yes,
that's what you got your degree in. One
yes.
of your
So
degree.
it's postgraduate certification. So just like if you go to a dentist and you can have a regular dentist, but then you have an orthodontist, who can realign your teeth versus just the regular cleanings and, fillings and everything else.
Right.
CBP, chiropractic biophysics, is postgraduate certification. And I graduated really late. I at 35 years old from chiropractic school. So I knew I didn't have the time to get advanced certification with the 10 years or whatever it would take at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew the only way to learn that was to live it and breathe it. So I took a seminar in Idaho, and that's the doctor training facility out at Ideal Spine Health Center. And I just blew my mind. Because it seemed so basic. And I was so upset that I didn't learn it in chiropractic school. That if your body's misaligned, let's say your head is shifting over to the right side, what would you do? Move it, teach people how to move it to the left. If your back is too rounded, teach them how to flatten it out. If it's too flat, teach them how to get that arch back in. It was so basic. I was like, I blown away that it's not taught in every single school on the planet, that I had to pay extra money outside of my already expensive education. So I decided I was going to dive in head first, go to whatever part of the world it is that I had to in order to train with the best. And they were generous enough at Ideal Spine Health Center with Dr. Dee Harrison, who is now one of the most published researchers on the planet when it comes to spinal health, in the top 1%. And, Shirlene Harrison, his ex-wife at the time, was running the clinic, and Dr. Joe Betts. They were all just so gracious to let me come and do. I was actually the first student intern they've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was exciting. I annoyed them until they gave. So for your younger audience,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you want, if you're persistent, and with some grace from God, I just annoyed them until I was like, I'm going to be your first student intern. They're like, we don't take student interns. I said, I know, I'm going to be the first one. So I asked everybody, what all their pain points were, what are the parts that they didn't like. And then I was like, when I start my internship here, I'll be doing all that for you.
Oh,
So,
that is interesting.
yeah, so
So
it
your
was fun.
degree and your qualifications in this field as a chiropractor, in addition to what you've been saying, how more different is that from the regular people who practice as a
Excellent question.
chiropractor? Yeah.
So the traditional chiropractic is focused on the adjustment, and it's phenomenal. If you've ever had anything out of alignment and you go to a chiropractor, like you can't move, things are stuck, the joints are jammed up, you're getting, any sort of pain, discomfort, headaches, that has actually been shown to be very effective in the research with manipulation. But CBP points out that if the spine is out of alignment from what normal neutral is, and I have a
Mm-hmm.
PowerPoint presentation, I can show you what that is. Um,
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of those PowerPoint in the second
yeah,
episode when we come back from the short break. So you were just
yes,
saying, yeah, and I
yeah.
want to
So
let the
so
viewers out there know. Please stay tuned. Dr. Haasseem is going to show us a little bit of demonstration and display some of those points that he is speaking about as a chiropractor. Yeah.
Yeah, so CBP adds in specific types of traction to stretch the ligaments of the spine. So I see a lot of people who are,
And
going
you know,
in for
you're talking
surgeries.
and you're making me feel like my neck needs to be stretched and my body needs to be put into place.
Right. Good,
It's just
good, good,
reacting onto me. But anyhow, go ahead.
good. Yep. When so they add in the traction to bring the body closer back to neutral, because that's where you have the least amount of pressure on the spinal cord. And that's where your body functions at optimum, you know? And then you add in specific exercises to strengthen your body into that position. You know, they're called mirror image exercises. Whatever your body posture is, we do the exact mirror image to help you correct that. And that has been shown, you know, to have incredible outcomes. And we now have, you know, 1-year follow-up, 2-year follow-up, 5-year follow-up with people showing that it's sustained, you know, and when compared to other groups in physical therapy or medical intervention, or even other just traditional chiropractic, the CBT group, you know, every single trial that we've done comes out, you know, way above and beyond. Less drugs, less surgeries, less suicides, and better overall quality of health when you see you help people realign their body.